anchor's hauled, sun's gone down. There's a lot of pirates in the area. Just a little while ago, a woman tourist actually got shot in the stomach by one of the pirates, so take it pretty serious.
I'm Les Stroud. I'm on a mission to seek out the true masters of survival. The last indigenous people from around the world.
Before they're gone. Before the past is lost. Before their world vanishes. I can learn their ways.
Located in the South China Sea, 12 kilometers off the east coast of Sabah, are a chain of islands formed over thousands of years. An entire hidden culture of people spread themselves out along these coastlines. These are resourceful and weather-hardened people whose very survival is a daily concern. To the Bajau, the sea is the mother of life, and we carry her within us. I'm here to live as they live, learn their secrets of spiritual, cultural, and physical survival. Survival that's at the mercy of the sea. The Bajau are a nomadic people, and their ancestors have lived on the water as long as history records. No one really knows why. It's simply home to them. They access the land for fresh water and wood or to connect with the markets. But nearly everything else they need to survive comes from the sea.
When you talk about water world, this really feels like going into some kind of surreal place. I mean, these people never come off these boats, you know. They will hop onto land for some fresh water, maybe some wood, and that's about it. But the only thing missing is the gills. You can see the different levels of boats. There's the bigger boats, there's the huts on the stilts, and then there's the small boats where I'm headed.
I'm on my way to meet Max Aluden, a Bajau father who chooses to spend his entire life on the sea.
Here we go. Oh no, he dropped the feet. Okay. That's dinner. This is gonna be something.
Here in Sabah, there are 32 indigenous ethnic groups speaking over 50 dialects and languages. It's believed that the Bajau have lived on these waters for more than 200 years, originally sailing from the southern Philippines. A peaceful people, they would simply float away on their houseboats whenever they felt threatened by groups encroaching on their territory. Like most Bajau, Max and his family live almost their entire lives on the sea.
So I didn't waste any time at all in making sure that I was helping out, so that's good. Everywhere around the world, when it comes to simply surviving out there, you can be in a different culture and not speak their language. It doesn't matter. Sign language works perfect everywhere. He's expecting me to help out and pull my share, because now there's an extra mouth on the boat to feed, and that's mine.
With no translator, communicating with the family will have to consist of hand signals and body language.
Max wasted no time in getting busy. Bottom line is they still got to survive. They've got to get out and get their fish and get their fresh water, whatever they need to feed themselves and stay alive. So even taking me on the boat was great, but it was like, all right, let's go. We got to get the net. We got to get out there. We got to get working. And then while we were there, because I was helping with the net, Max joked that he's got a new son now. Little comments like that make a big difference, because that means there's immediate acceptance to having me along. The best thing is when you can have humor or jokes laid upon you when you're with people and you know you're accepted.
These people are no different than anybody else. To survive, they're going to need food, and water, and shelter. Shelter floats. This is it. This is their whole home. Water, they've got to still get close to land, get onto land, get it somehow.
the only way they can have water is to find those natural springs on islands here and there. And as for food, well, that's what we're out to get right now. Pretty large net, big holes, so we're going after shark, manta ray. I imagine a big shark will feed them for quite a while, or share it with the community. Not sure how they approach that. Just see what we catch. Hopefully, luck will be with Max today and his family.
With no country to call home and no rights, for decades they've been losing their traditional fishing grounds to both legal and illegal fishing vessels. Max relies on his strength as a swimmer to feed his family, and he seems to spend as much time in the water as on it, searching for any kind of catch. This one is small, but out here, any sting can turn deadly. You've got to remove the barb as quickly as possible.
Pretty fast maneuver on a spotted ray there. Had to get rid of the barb. Stingray, here we go. Lunch.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, if he's gonna keep fishing, I'm gonna go in and see if I can see the action up close.
They've offered me a crude spear gun to see how I can help catch lunch. Max's cousin, along with his family, travel along with us since it's easier to survive with a few men to do the work.
I got it! I got it!
Max has told me that fishing here is actually getting better than it was a number of years ago. But something is missing from these waters. Sharks. They've been fished out, or caught as well for their fins for the Asian market. But these Bajau haven't seemed to made the obvious connection. They have a better bounty, but the predators are missing.
That wasn't so bad at all. There was a fish hiding down in the coral. Took one of the Sea Bajau to show me where it was, but first shot.
This is a puffer fish, and though it may look pretty harmless, it's one of the most dangerous catches to prepare. Many of the puffer fish's internal organs contain a toxin that's said to be 10,000 times more poisonous than cyanide. If it's not prepared correctly, we could die slowly as we chew, almost like being tranquilized, starting with a numbing sensation of the tongue. It's a testament to the Sea Bajau's knowledge and skill of the ocean to prepare this dish safely and without hesitation.
All right, well, a little successful venture there. And doing some spearfishing with them. I guess it's just a matter of catch as catch can. In the truest sense of the word for these guys as we go along. I haven't seen the kids eat yet. Normally, they eat maybe once a day. So, hopefully that time will come soon because I haven't eaten yet either.
This is the purest form of what I call hand-to-mouth existence. And it includes short trips to the land to give them all the wood they need to cook right here on the boat.
No reason I can't help out with what I know, and I know chopping wood.
Though the task seems simple, every action is a lesson in survival.
Of course, the boats are leaky. So bailing is an ongoing occupation. It's eating time. The cousins have got their fish, their tapioca, their rice, and we've got our fish, and it's just gonna all be shared about. I would imagine, just like in any remote situation, the only way you can truly survive is to have a sharing system with the other families. That's certainly the case here. We're eating pufferfish, which apparently is supposed to be pretty poisonous, but I have no way of asking them how I'm supposed to eat around the poisonous parts. So I'm just eating.
I'm in the South China Sea, and I'm learning to survive with the nomadic sailors, the Sea Bajau.
Even though I'm eating all that I can with them, Max Ludin is insisting that I keep eating more. He keeps handing me the best choice parts of the fish, so I guess because I have my part in catching it, so. Here we go. Thank you. Yeah. You see what I mean? He keeps feeding me here. That is the best part of the fish. These guys get one meal a day and they're feeding me. that's the way it works. Pretty much hand-to-mouth existence. I mean, come out, catch some fish, and cook and eat. Just complete ocean survival. Catch it, you eat it, you go try to get some more. Fastidious, being meticulously clean about everything is really important. You've got such a small area to work with, you can't have mess. It would just be a disgusting pile if you did. So they're not going to do anything until they clean all the blood off of everything, clean the wood. And for such a tiny little area, they actually keep it really organized.
In return for being able to stay with Max and his family, all he's asked for is a new spark plug.
The Sea Gypsies, this is survival. Being able to put an engine together with pieces of plastic and cans and bottles and rubber and metal wire and keep that engine rolling. That's got to get them from feeding ground to feeding ground. We still have to go quite a ways to put down fish nets. Everything is about just this 16, 20-foot stretch of boat and making sure that everything coexists, everything works, and that engine is paramount. And they can paddle their way too. That's the beauty of these boats too. They can actually paddle their way out of trouble if we need to.
And trouble for them could be monsoons, torrential downpours, and powerful winds. Agility on the water is paramount to their survival.
Okay, it's time to invoke the universal welcoming tool.
In the tropics, the only way to get through the heat of the day is to stay in the shade, even if that shade is cramped quarters and only 7 feet by 14 feet long.
I don't know if they even like that or not. Maybe it just wasn't my best plan.
Huddled together, we wait out midday. The stench of body odor, fish, gasoline, cigarette smoke, and the sea itself hangs heavy under the tarp. As it is throughout all third world populations, their belongings are made up of a series of scrounged bits of material and clothing. Pots and pans and plastic buckets. Whenever they need something, they'll likely just find it. The sea has no problem providing them with flotsam and garbage from a more civilized world. Beautiful, yet dangerous, the waters surrounding this area are highly contentious. A haven for pirates and pillagers. In April 2000, pirates kidnapped 21 people, diving instructors and guests from the world-class diving site called Sipadan Island. Today, military bases dot every coastline patrolling the waters to secure this fragile peace.
Anchor's hauled, sun's gone down. There's a lot of pirates in the area. Even me being in with the Sea Gypsy village. The military wants to make sure there's an escort not too far away. Make sure the pirates don't come in. Knowing that I'm in there and I've got camera gear. Just a little while ago, a woman tourist actually got shot in the stomach by one of the pirates, so take it pretty serious.
So set me up a special place inside here for sleeping tonight. A place of honor, actually. They're giving me the most comfortable place in the boat. Honestly, I don't know how they really get through living like this after a while. And the boat heaves all night long. You're sleeping on a wooden plank the whole time. The night seems to go on forever. It's still dark. And there's no way really of getting comfortable in this little boat. There's actually a fair bit of noise too. I mean, people are up talking a lot throughout the whole village, and it's a crazy existence.
Night takes its sweet time to pass in the middle of the South China Sea. In every way, it feels very surreal here, like you're simply living in another world, on another planet.
As near as I can tell, it's morning. They closed the hut-in overnight to keep the wind out, keep us a little warmer. He's opened it up now, and it looks like he's pulling anchor, and we're gonna head off, probably check the nets.
It is becoming interesting to see how modern world intersects with this primitive existence, because Maximum is relying on the engine to get us back out to the nets, and the engine's not working now. So if it was relying totally on pulling and paddling, it'd be a different story. Okay, with our engine dead, one of the other local fishermen is going to actually tow us out to the net.
It's a long, slow tow to the nets, which gives me time to take in my surroundings. Known as the turtle capital of the world, Sipadan was designated a turtle wildlife reserve in 1964. It's not uncommon for divers to spot 20 to 30 sea turtles resting on shallow ledges and coral reefs. Rising to the surface to breathe, the turtles are everywhere and can easily be caught in fishermen's nets or engine blades. Local dive centers work hard to protect this endangered species, and the Sea Bajau respect the laws of protection.
All right, well, we finally made it to the net. And massive sea turtle caught in the net right at the very edge here. Just as we were just sort of checking the net. Took off, got through. So now we're just waiting to get things organized here, then we'll start hauling in the net, I think. Or at least we'll check it out to see what else might be caught on it. They're hoping for sharks, manta rays, anything like that.
Net fishing, though highly effective, can be an indiscriminate means of catching a meal. Though we're out to catch smaller fish, the nets drift in waves, and it's easy for larger prey such as sea turtles to get caught. This can mean costly repairs to the net and empty bellies come nightfall.
Another sea turtle.
Away he goes. That's a lot of fish for no fish. We've got 3 sea turtles and they don't eat sea turtles. Big job. To come home empty-handed. Survival on the sea, big time. What happens next, I'm not sure. For them, it's gonna revolve around getting more food and water. It has to.
Max's family still lives a nomadic seafaring lifestyle. Already the permanency of land feels foreign to me, and I think about the slow colonization of the islands, of the Sea Bajau, who left the open waters to settle on land in hopes of an easier way.
I was gotta wonder what it must feel like for them to finally get on land when all of their time spent on the boat. For me, I always end up land sick. I can feel it. I have no idea what it must feel like for them, but they prefer to be on the water. So for them, this is just a quick excursion, grab some firewood, coconuts, and get the heck back on the water. It's always the same when I get into a situation like this. Their feet bottoms are like leather. It hurts like heck to try to climb up where they are and keep up with them. This must be a regular place where they come to get firewood. Or you guys trail up in here. The wood's easy, there's tons of it. And they wouldn't need that much to keep that fire going on the boat. Maxiludin. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah?
Loggers have been through here, and so the Sea Gypsies take advantage of the straight cut wood for their own uses. Max needs a paddle for the next time his engine won't start, and he's found some leftovers by loggers that will provide exactly what he needs.
All they need is a paddle. And yet, it's a 2-day process. They told me from top to bottom, starting now, 2 full days just to get this paddle cut, ready to use on the boat.
Look at that. That's just after a few hours. A lot of chopping. And the final finished product, well, it's not the finished product. They're going to smooth this out on the boat. Isn't that beautiful?
There's a timelessness to being at sea. One day runs into another, surviving on one catch after the next. A few coconuts, the paddle, and some firewood, and the Sea Gypsies are back out to life on the waves, where they prefer to be.
They're going to take me into the village now and actually drop me off with another family of Sea Gypsies who spend their time in one of the stilt houses. A whole other version of living on the sea.
It's time to move on, to live and learn with the Sea Bajau of the water village.
The crazy part of this existence is that these people here are not Sea Gypsies. This is a water village. Yet right beside them, just out a few hundred feet, are the Sea Gypsies. Their houses, their stilt houses, stay out in the ocean. They don't connect to the land. Whereas these people here are absolutely connected to the land. They certainly interact, but not much. For the most part, the Sea Gypsies keep to themselves.
Only a few Bajau still live in their houseboats, as most have moved into larger, whole-house villages. Only 40 to 50 square feet provides the shade and refuge for 10 to 15 people.
Hey!
Hello!
This is my new family. These are Sea Gypsies that live here in this stilt house. And their whole life is also from the ocean, on the ocean, and of the ocean. But they made it a little bit different. They're stationary with this hut, and they come and go with their boats.
So this is it. 9 children. Husband, wife, 9 children, and one of the children has a child. And there's quite a difference here. I mean, I would imagine they can have more belongings, a little bit of storage. That said, I don't see all that much more in here than I saw on the boat with the family who existed and lived only on the boats.
The water below is the sink, the laundry tub, and the washroom, all at the same time. Fish, of course, is a daily source of food for them. And the truth is, their food actually tastes pretty good. It's becoming nighttime in the Sea Bajau water village, and like anywhere else, people gather to share stories and pass the time. Paddling through the village at night makes an already surreal experience seem even more so. Some of the huts have even managed to secure solar power, and so the sound of radios or even TVs can be heard. And on the shore, the odd generator runs, providing electricity to stick huts. On a platform here and there, people work through the night cleaning fish for the market. In the past, shark finning, cutting off the shark fins for the Asian market, was an occupation that kept these people busy. But the local shark population has been decimated by overfishing. I'm in the South China Sea, living and surviving with a family of Sea Bajau. Night has come in, and as always, the shared stories revolve around the sea.
Big sharks. I go down under the water with my camera and film the sharks. And many times I've been able to touch them and hold on to their fins.
They say the shark don't bite you.
He could, but I'm very careful. One time I had a shark. I wore a special glove made out of steel, and the shark came and bit me here. And then the second shark bit me, like his whole mouth was like from here to here, and he bit my hand. My hand was just punched like that. What did you say was the word for dangerous?
Bahaya.
Bahaya. Galang, bahaya.
To the Sea Gypsies, sharks are to be avoided or killed, and my stories of swimming with the sharks are received with gasps of disbelief. A couple of 100 yards away, some of the Sea Bajau are busy cleaning fish for the market. While this group is probably processing fish legally, with fish populations decreasing rapidly, they will also carry out shark finning and are fairly indiscriminate about what they catch in their nets. This is the darker side of their world. These sea gypsies don't really know what's coming at them, just how the modern world will rob them of their livelihoods from the sea, or perhaps already has.
So this is a little more orthodox method of survival here, involving the market. They catch these fish by the net and then take them into the local market, probably in 12, to sell and to exist. Simple as that.
Kasih tambah luman, cuban-cuban mangkuk tambilawan, diuntung gimua impun aku lalawa, pagsiksa pandait ampa ais kium, isu gagiul anwayaku biutangan.
The mother and father, like any other set of parents on the planet, are first to be up, to simply enjoy the sunrise before the kids wake.
Morning here is just like morning anywhere. Everybody's sort of just getting up, shaking the night off, trying to wake up the preteens and the teenagers. Father's already up early, taking care of engines and things like that. Mother's up, making the breakfast. The little ones are running around, just like any other subdivision anywhere else on the planet. Well, with a few small differences. Every movement that I make on this platform is essentially a precarious one, and I've noticed that both in the boat and here that people move very slowly. Nobody really runs around too fast. If they get on land, of course they do, but here everybody moves really cautiously and slowly, and it's probably a good survival mechanism to have kicked in, because you move fast up here and you're falling down. It's gonna be nasty. And I'm the heaviest guy on the platform right now. I'm just waiting for most of the family to go and first get some fresh water, and second start looking for materials so that the hut itself can be improved, since this is the monsoon season. You never know when it's going to start to bucket down the rains.
A constant struggle is the search for fresh water.
When I go for water at home, I turn on the tap. For them, fresh water is a long trip. It's always the irony of survival on the ocean. You're surrounded by more water than you can even sort of imagine, and yet you can't drink it, and you can die of thirst.
For the Sea Bajau, the search for fresh water is part of their daily survival. Water shortages have increasingly made headlines in the Malaysian newspapers. The Sea Gypsies have strong immune systems, but in a place like this, you're never far from the possibility of parasites and waterborne diseases.
Water's not actually that bad. It's got a little touch of salt to it, but nothing that you couldn't get used to. As far as how biologically clean it is, I haven't got a clue.
Let's see to turn around.
Onani munda.
Right.
Aho.
Okay.
Narakayo ito. Rakayo.
Now she's giving me orders. That didn't take long.
Like the Sea Gypsies who live exclusively in boats, the ones who live in stick huts also find much of their personal belongings from available garbage the ocean gives up daily. Only a small amount of clothes and housewares are purchased or traded through the market. Now that we've delivered enough fresh water to last a couple of days, life must carry on for the Sea Bajau, whether I'm with them or not. And today had been set aside to do some rebuilding of the stick hut. They live with the threat of monsoons during this part of the year, and their only protection is a roof of leaves. So once again, they've got to turn to the land to find the materials that make life on the water possible.
I climbed up palm trees in the Cook Islands, going for coconuts, and I can tell you, it is really tough He's got a lifetime of doing it. That's incredible. The older generation certainly has done this a million times, but we train them young.
Climbing these trees is absolutely brutal. It's real tough. My feet are not built for this. They're not tough enough for this. I've got a handhold. That's the only reason I can even get up this high.
That's a lifetime of getting used to it.
All right, well, looks like we're gonna gather a bit more.
For now, no one cares that they come to the land to pick up a few meager supplies, but the land is owned privately, and it's getting increasingly difficult for them to have permission to take from the islands.
Just about every culture that has to get all of its stuff from the land processes the materials right there in the spot, in the middle of the jungle, by the shore, whatever it is, because when you're carrying everything back by hand, extra weight is not an option.
There's no such thing as a tropical paradise without the hard work that makes it possible.
Same weaving methods that I find all around the world when it comes to using palm fronds. Doesn't change here or halfway around the world in the Amazon jungle. Jump over to Papua New Guinea, here in Malaysia, it's the exact same weaving method to make these thatched roofs.
This Sea Bajau father has admitted to me that he would prefer to live on the land, but no one will let him.
So we're headed off to the other side of the island through the jungle for some more supplies. Continue to repair the hut.
One of the few dangers in this otherwise benign jungle are snakes. Compared to other jungles I've trekked in, like the Amazon, this one doesn't appear to be that dangerous. Yet Malaysia has at least 40 species of poisonous snakes, both on land and at sea. I'm with the ocean dwellers called the Sea Bajau, and we're on one of their rare trips to the land.
Gotta go a long way into the jungle to get these poles. You can see why they prefer to live on the ocean. Yeah, that's the jungle, all right.
For the Sea Bajau of the South China Sea, life is work. Like so many cultures outside of my own, there's little time for just sitting back and relaxing. There's no such thing as registered savings plans, no health plan. Hospitals and doctors are for near-death circumstances only. And in fact, my host is the village doctor, using chanting and medicinal plants to attempt cures. Whatever you need done out here, you've got to do it yourself.
Kids are on duty as well. They've got to kill all the cockroaches. Hundreds and hundreds of cockroaches. That's their job.
Mother Nature is herself an architect. The palm leaves we've harvested from the island are strong and flexible. The water will simply beat off the leaves, and the tight weaving method will protect the family from strong winds and rough seas that come with the monsoon season. Everyone pitches in, since everyone has a stake in the security of the hut.
Okay. Good. One wall, studs are in, electrical wiring's done, insulation's good. Should pass the code of inspection.
And now the hard part, embedding new poles into the ocean floor to add a new section to the stick hut. But there are no underwater augers here, so it's all got to be done by hand just under the hut in the water that is their tap, wash basin, and toilet, all at the same time. But even here in this idyllic setting, the sandy ocean floor is not as benign as it seems, and a member of my own film crew discovers the hard way how nasty a life on and in the water can sometimes be.
Someone get Laura now! Come!
Laura, one of my underwater shooters, was moving in close to get a shot of the pole going into the sand when she received a painful sting to her hand. She couldn't say from what. The Sea Bajau have their own methods for dealing with painful stings and injuries, none of which involve a hospital or regular Western treatments. For them, the answer is to urinate in the ocean in the location of the accident, and it'll make things right. No matter what the problem, infection out here can be deadly.
You gotta be really careful, because there's sea urchins and starfish down there and they sting bad. In fact, one of our camera people was just now filming me. She got her hand stuck by a sea urchin. Bad news. The traditional remedy is that someone needs to pee into the ocean, which is what somebody went off and did. They peed. Right now I'm about 10 feet from the poo hole. That's just lovely.
Laura got lucky. Out of the numerous potentially deadly stings or bites that can occur in these waters, it was a sea urchin. Extremely painful, but not life-threatening. Far more life-threatening for the Sea Bajau is compression diving for food beneath the waves. And if I'm to continue to experience life as they live it, I'll have to take part. Every year, people die of decompression sickness, and every dive is a risk.
This diving they call compressor diving is extremely dangerous. Now, for hundreds and probably thousands of years, they've been free diving 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, even longer, holding their breath as they go down for fishing. And that's dangerous enough, but now that they can modify the engines and pump air down to them with a long, long, thin tube, they're staying down there for an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. And especially, they like to go out at nighttime. People die doing this all the time. They get bent, as they say when you're diving, decompression sickness. They die under the water, on the way back up, back on the shore, on the boat. It's a very dangerous activity, but they do it to survive. They do it to get the fish they need to sell at the market or to eat themselves. This is hardcore survival for them.
More modern compression engines will have an extra tank built as a backup should the engine fail. But this is a luxury most compression divers can't afford. The diver goes down deep and fast, and within minutes, he's at 90 feet. Getting bent is extremely painful and can be fatal. It's like having a stroke. Going down too fast and coming up quickly kills these divers every year. Compression diving originated as a way to ensure the survival of their way of life. But over time, industry has taken advantage of the Sea Bajau by getting them to retrieve propellers and equipment dropped in the water. They pay them little, and they have them dive at night. A few moments into the dive, and my diver is on his way to the top. Something's gone wrong. I'm in the middle of the South China Sea, and a Sea Bajau, or Sea Gypsy as they're called, is showing me how to compression dive, but he had to rush to the surface. The engine quit, and he found himself 90 feet down without air. He's made it back up, safely this time, and now it's my turn. It takes some practice to get the breathing right. The air I'm breathing is tainted with the thick smell and taste of old, rancid vegetable oil. They use it to lubricate the engine. It's like sticking your head over a French fry vat of grease and breathing deep. It's every bit as disgusting as it sounds.
I think I got it. Really? I think so. Now we go down deep.
I'm surprised at the ease at which I can descend quickly. It happens without even thinking about it, and before you know it, you drop down 20, 30, 40 feet, and deeper. The sea is a competitive environment where creatures have developed strong defense mechanisms over time. And I'm hunting the sea cucumber, a real delicacy in these parts, one of the safest animals in the ocean to touch. But I've got to be careful if I upset one. An irritated sea cucumber ejects a white toxin that can cause blindness if it comes in contact with my eyes.
All right. Well, I want to find a few sea cucumber. I can't even talk. A few sea cucumber. But that's some tough going. It's hard on the lungs. You taste the oil the whole time. You got to be careful with your ears all the way down. But just the same, bounty.
Compression diving is a necessity to the Sea Bajau. With dwindling fish supplies, the divers have to dive farther and deeper and with greater risk in order to collect fish to eat and sell at the market. They have to expose themselves to danger, simply to survive. They'll process the sea cucumber and take it to the mainland to sell at the market. So their livelihood is not only hand-to-mouth. They involve themselves in minor market interaction.
Alam na. Mga more.
Napahalik karya bari.
So they've been getting everything ready, and now it's finally time for me to have some sea cucumber. Yee. So it actually takes a few days for the sea cucumber to be ready. When they heard that I'd never had any before, they wanted to make sure I ate it. I think just so they can watch the reaction on my face. All right, down the hatch. Ahab sana. That tastes way, way better than it looks. It's the most disgusting looking thing I think I've ever eaten. Let me see this again. Yeah, look at that. Okay, here we go. Sea cucumber.
As my time comes to a close with the Sea Gypsies, they want to share with me what seems to be their one and only ceremony, the offering to the sea to ensure good health, fishing, and success in life. The theorists and biologists have paid special attention to the ocean for centuries, revealing the possibility that life first began because of the conditions of the sea. Respect and honoring of the spirit world ensures safety for all humans in the physical world. The Sea Bajau knows he's bound to his natural world for survival. For this reason, there is always an exchange between the two worlds, such as rice or money to ensure good weather and food from the ocean. A humble offering to the forces of nature.
So that's it then. It's done. That was the official offering to the sea. There was rice, there was money, incense being burned, and it's all offered and left into the sea, into the ocean. Back we go.
The future of the Sea Bajau is unknown. With no rights and no country, no one to stand up for them, no one to fight for them against the shifting tides of change.
We wish you to see you again.
Yes. Aho.
They have a deep relationship with the ocean. It makes more profound and deepens my own. It reminds me that we're all in some way at the mercy of our environment. Until now, the Sea Bajau's ability to survive has been an example of humanity's traditional battle against the elements of Mother Nature. In coming years, the ingenuity and self-reliance of the Sea Bajau will be put to the test as they face modernization and the consequences of man's destruction of the sea. Another culture, another world, challenged to go beyond survival.